If you have recently graduated from an undergrad program or a graduate degree, congratulations. Or if you're like me and you're still a few months away from that completion, well, it's time to start planning life after school. Hi, I'm Jennifer, and welcome back to an episode of my Midlife Student Life. In this mini-series entitled Life After School, I'm planning to share with you some common topics as well as some specific topics that my classmates will be facing in the coming months as a student of classical osteopathy and a future profession as an osteopathic manual practitioner here in Canada. In today's video, I'm going to discuss the topics of your identity now in this new profession. I'm going to offer you a series of self-reflective questions for you to ask yourself and help you prepare to adapt to this new life after school. So let's get started with the questions. Question number 1. How have you changed over the past 4 years? Consider whether the content or topic of the program has it shifted your life view. Do you find you're more inspired to live in a certain way? Or have you got a new perspective on life? I know for myself, I feel like I'm a person who has become more self-confident. I feel like I'm more resilient. Some of the things that have happened in my personal life over the last 4 years, I would say before school, I probably would have reacted in a much bigger way. But school was so difficult. I had to learn to manage and you know what? Kind of dig deep down and realize that I actually have an inner strength that's probably greater than I ever thought it was. School pulled that out of me. So all of a sudden, my resilience level has increased. I also think I've affirmed or maybe reaffirmed my worldview and become more grounded in the beliefs that I already had previously. I know for sure I am not the same person that I was 4 years ago, and you can't tell, but there are definitely more gray hair in there. Question number 2. How do you envision your work life in this new profession? My school is a private professional school. There's only one program. Everyone that goes to the school is going for one program, one thing, and that's to become an osteopathic manual practitioner. We study osteopathy. End of story. I don't have to come out of this program and decide or have to figure out what to be or what job to get. In this case, we already know what the profession is, but there's a lot of details and nuance to work out. Do you want to work full-time? Do you want to work part-time? What sort of business do you want to be? Do you want to be a business owner or do you want to be an employee? There are a number of options within the profession. You may not be ready to decide all of those details right today, and that's okay because I have an upcoming video that will discuss all the details of what each option looks like for self-employment versus being an employee for somebody else. But let's get back to this video. At this point, you may be starting to think about your transition from a current job or career that you have into the new one after school. For some of you, you are going to just complete whatever job you are now, give your notice, and you're going to start into a new profession. Some of you might need to plan out a transition. Perhaps you're going to do part-time with something you're doing right now, and then you're going to slowly work into your new profession. What does that look like? That's going to take some time to maybe consider, or maybe you've already thought about it. But regardless, it's helpful for you to reflect on your own strengths and weaknesses when considering the business choice and the options before you. Question number 3. If you have a spouse or partner or live within a family, what are their expectations? Okay, this is a really good question to have with the people you live with. And it could be even your roommates. Somebody whose life has been changed because you've been in school for the last 4 years. For me, that's my husband. We made a number of changes within our household roles and responsibilities when I went back to school full-time and continued to work part-time. And as a result of that, life has been different for the last 4 years. So the question is, what's your expectation when I graduate and when I start this new career? What are the expectations? It's a really good conversation to have. In our household, my husband took on the primary role of making meals and house cleaning as an example, where before I was in school, we shared those pretty much 50-50. So a good question. Does he have an expectation of me returning to the 50-50? Do I have an expectation of him continuing 100% of this responsibility? Well, that's a discussion we need to have. Regardless of that specific topic, just make sure you discuss expectations with your life partners. Question number 4. What will your social life look like? This topic may not apply to you as it does to me, but I have had to really cut out a significant number of family and friend social events and outings over the last 4 years. We just haven't had many people over. I think some of it has transitioned, post-pandemic. We're just out of maybe the same social circles that we were in before. However, things are going to look different in the future again. And do you want to see more people? Do you want to have the same friends? Do you have new friends now? I know for myself, I have some amazing new friends who are becoming colleagues as well within this profession. I want to make sure I maintain relationship. And so I'm going to set aside that as a priority, which means some time and energy and finances will be devoted to maintaining those social connections. I do look forward to spending some more time with family and friends. And if I've had to cancel my lunches with you over the last couple of years, sorry, but I'm about to emerge out of this full-time crazy world into a new normal, whatever that looks like. And my 5th question for reflection is very specific actually now to my school and my profession. To be. When I graduate. And that is, how do you want to be perceived by others and your community? I think this question is important because we are about to embark in a profession that is a healthcare profession. And as a result of that, there's an image that perhaps you want to have within your community. Are you in a small town? Are you in a big city? How do you want to differentiate yourself, not only as a business, but as a person? What kind of groups do you want to be participating in? The person that you have become. Back to question number 1, how have you changed? Maybe you're someone who's been really quiet and you want to now be more involved in your community. Likewise, maybe you're someone who's been very involved in community and you want to back off and just stay focused in your new profession. Lots of options here. So consider your new identity within context of family, with yourself, as well as within the community. So this week, this is my encouragement to you. Take some of these questions, be inspired by them, ask more questions, do self-reflection, and help get your brain and juices flowing to plan that life after school. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, stay strong, dig on, and start planning life after school.